Arsenal won the title race. Etihad showdown ended in the favor of Manchester City, taking all 3 points in what was a huge title clash at the Etihad. The game was full of action and intense moments, and today we want to analyze calmly after the disappointment of losing to our title rivals. So first and foremost, 3 points behind Arsenal with a game in hand. And as you can see, this is a huge psychological advantage for Manchester City as they are now looking to go on and win the Premier League for the 6th time in 7 years under Pep Guardiola. So this is Arsenal are still top of the league, and as you all know, 5 games remaining for Arsenal and 6 games remaining for Manchester City. So you can see Arsenal will now head to face Newcastle at home. Man City will play Burnley on Wednesday. Then Arsenal play Fulham May 2nd. Man City play Everton away. Then Arsenal play West Ham away on May 10th. Manchester City play Brentford at home. Then Arsenal play Burnley at home May 17th. Man City face Bournemouth away. Then Arsenal will finish the league with Crystal Palace away on May 24th. And then Man City will finish with Aston Villa on May 24th. And then their game against Crystal Palace, the date will be decided since Crystal Palace are still in the Conference League. And this game, they'll have to wait for Crystal Palace either to be knocked out or to play the final after the Conference League. So this was a title statement for Manchester City, and if you look at the squad that started, Man City started with Donnarumma in goal, Guehi, Kusanov, Nunes and O'Reilly was the center as the full defense. Then Bernardo Silva and Rodri, who in front of them was the front four of Semenyo, Doku, Chucky and Erling Haaland. So it was an unchanged squad from Man City, the team that beat Chelsea. And usually say don't change a winning team, because Pep Guardiola is known for overthinking. And then for Arsenal, there are some few changes with Raya in goal, Saliba, Gabriel Hill, Captain Mosquera. It was the same partnership that started as a Sporting Lisbon. Then Odegaard came into the picture together with Zubimendi and Rice, a surprise for Eze playing on the left, and then Madueke and Havertz finishing the front line. So there are some few changes from Arsenal. And if you look at the statistics show that Arsenal created very, very good chances in this game. XG was higher than Man City's, 1.62 to 1.36. Ball possession, City were on top. Total shots, City on top. Shots on target, City on top. But here in the big chances, where Arsenal and City both had huge chances to win this game with 5 each. But people are saying Man City dominated. Yes, they had most of the possession, but Arsenal played their role also as well in huge chances, especially Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz had 2 big chances to actually win this game. So if you look at the table, Arsenal are now 70 points clear, 70 points, 33 games, 121, drawn 7, lost 5, with a goal difference of 37. Manchester City 32 games played, 20 wins, 7 draws and 5 losses all season with 67 points. So these are teams which are equally matched, best going toe to toe. And now the title race is actually on fire. Yeah, and Arteta said, bring this game on. So you can see the winners and the losers from this game. Ryan Chucky coming out on top, and this is now another twist in this trolling title race. You can see the Bundesliga, Bayern have already won. La Liga, Barca will win it. PSG will win French League. Inter Milan will win Italian League, but the Premier League is still up for grabs. And that's why this is the best league in the world, because nobody knows who will going to win the Premier League. So Chucky played a very good game, sensational goal in the first half, and he was the key player for Man City in that game. Managed to actually bamboozle our defense and score a fantastic goal that we managed to come back from that. So Chucky, being touted to be one of the best players in the Premier League this season, standout performer, and he was the chief creator in that game. Also, Bernardo Silva with a performance of a lifetime since he said he is leaving Manchester City. He produced one of the best performances and a masterclass versus Arsenal as well. Kai Havertz as well in his first start in the Premier League and his first goal in the Premier League versus City. High pressing, we looked so much better with Havertz up front. His hold-up play was good, and he knows how to pick the right spaces. It's not like Gyökeres. Gyökeres is a finisher. People were asking why did not start, but for this game, for the tactical side of this game, Kai Havertz had to start this game because of his tactical knowledge and nous, and he repaid his faith by scoring. But for us, we are the losers in this weekend game because we have lost back-to-back games in the Premier League, and we, after losing to Bournemouth and now City, we are not in form. We have only won one game in 6. And this is a huge time for alarm, but as they say, form is temporary and class is permanent. So I'm expecting Arsenal to come back on top after this wobble, which usually happens to all teams who are fighting for the league. Man City already had their wobble, and now they have caught up to us. Mikel Arteta, of course, will take all the blame and the criticism as is the one who managed to put up the lineup, but now Man City remain as his own, his biggest kryptonite is Manchester City with 4 wins in 17 games against City following Sunday's painful defeat. Now Arsenal are over 200 days on top, and they still top of the league, and the destiny is still their hands. They win all their games and City drop points. Arsenal have a chance of still winning the league, and they're still in the Champions League semi-final. Pep Guardiola, this is the time where he picks in April, starting to build momentum, and momentum in football. It's everything. Christian Mosquera had one of the worst games as he picked up a yellow card after being terrorized by Doku, but Doku usually gives all players such a hard game, man. So Christian Mosquera had a very, very tricky game. Also, Gabi Magalhaes almost received a red card. If Haaland went down, Gabi Magalhaes would have been sent off, but Haaland said, I'm going to battle. And that battle between Gabriel and Haaland was one of the best in the game. These guys have their beef. Wakona beef yao tu flani tu. Yeah, and they usually go head to head every single time Arsenal and Man City face. But this time round, it was Haaland who went home with the bragging rights since he got the points and also since he scored. So I'm sure you'll be calling Gabriel and telling me, no, I managed to beat you in this one. So the game was tight, and now there's an article there which I saw which is saying, are Man City now title favorites after win over Arsenal? Now, the twist is now here. If Man City beat Burnley by convincing score on Wednesday, they will go top of the league on the same points as Arsenal, 70 each. Then Man City will be playing in the FA Cup semi-final on Saturday or Sunday, meaning that Arsenal will have the chance to play the Premier League and extend the points maybe to 3. Yeah, so this race will go down to the wire and the last game. But most people are now backing Man City to go on a run and win this Premier League. Since Arsenal usually don't know how to finish the league. We usually know how to start well, but now finishing the league is usually a big problem. So most people will be saying that Manchester City will now be favorites to win the league. But for me, I'm still think Arsenal will be a margin of favorites, because if you look at these fixtures, Manchester City have very difficult fixtures, especially away from home. Everton away is difficult, Brentford is difficult, Bournemouth is also difficult, teams that are fighting for European places, and Aston Villa also fighting for Europa in Champions League, difficult games. Arsenal, we have Newcastle not in form, Fulham not really looking to win, but also will be difficult London derby. West Ham is also a difficult London derby. They're fighting relegation. Burnley will, by the time we play Burnley, they would already be relegated. So I don't think they'll cause such a threat. Then Crystal Palace away also might win that. So 3 London derbies. Looking forward to that as well. Yeah. So the game was won in the boxes, attacking. Man City took their chances. Arsenal failed to as we failed to take our chances. So it is individual brilliance that just matched us, but we went toe to toe. Defense on both sides was good, and now pressure is on Man City since they're now expected to win the Premier League, but also pressure is on Arsenal since we have that fixture versus Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, meaning there'll be a lot of fatigue and tiredness. But also City will have to play in the in the FA Cup semi-final. So this is going to be an interesting title race, and Arsenal now have the chance to go toe to toe with City and beat them to the title, an opportunity which they should embrace. Yeah, Eze, fantastic performance, hit the post. Havertz, also fantastic performance, that we needed to do more in order to match Manchester City. So that was that game. It was a disappointing day for Arsenal fans. Manchester City fans will be happy with that, and they celebrated very, very well. They knew that now the destiny of the Premier League is in their hands now. So Arsenal, we have to respond versus Newcastle. We have the whole week off now to prepare and play Newcastle at home. We are also glad that Man City will not be playing at the weekend, so we have a chance to put a 3-point gap on top of Man City before we play, and then we will play Fulham. Yeah, Fulham at home. So we have the chance to also make it 6 points, but we should not be looking far ahead. Hopefully, we'll have Timber and Saka back for this crucial part of the season, and we hope that we can now have that performance at the Etihad can now boost us, because it was a good performance. The result was not good. Most fans actually said, "Yeah, we are proud of the performance. Now we want to win playing well." So for me, we are still in it. 5 games to go. This is where now we lock in and take the game and the title. So this is the Arsenal Pulse. Subscribe, share, and follow. Doing more match reactions, tactical analysis, and I'll be here to give you all the updates regarding Arsenal Football Club. See you in the next one. Peace out.